Hello, we represent a lot of Uber and Lyft passengers, which led us to create UberCarAccidentLaw.com. If you're watching this and you were a passenger involved in an Uber or Lyft accident, whether or not your Uber driver was at fault or Lyft driver was at fault, or whether it was another vehicle that caused the accident, I want to talk about a little bit about how the insurance claims process works, because I think you'll find it's a little more complicated than what you would do if you were in a car accident in your own personal vehicle or someone else's vehicle. So here's how it works. First of all, if you are a Florida resident and you own a car, or if you live with somebody who owns a car that's a family member, your own personal automobile insurance policy or your family member's automobile insurance policy, that's a resident relative, will have to pay what's called personal injury protection or no-fault benefits. So if you're injured in an accident, you will present the hospital or the first doctor you see with your whatever insurance company card you have and a claim number, and your insurance will pay 80% of your medical bills up to $10,000 or 60% of your lost wages up to $10,000. And how PIP works exactly is going to be the subject of another video, so don't worry about that. We'll put the link to that underneath the credits here or in the byline. All right, so most people who are involved in a car accident, if it results in pain, are going to have more than $10,000 worth of medical bills. So what will happen is, what happens next will really depend on whether or not your Uber or Lyft driver was at fault or whether or not another vehicle was at fault. So let's take both scenarios. Let's say you're involved in an accident, you're an Uber or Lyft passenger, and another vehicle is at fault. So first you're going through your personal injury protection benefits. If another vehicle was at fault, you can go after the bodily injury insurance coverage for both the driver and, if different, the car owner of the responsible vehicle. So sometimes, let's say the child, or let's say a friend of the car that hit you was driving the car. Well, that friend may have their own insurance policy to go after, and the owner of the car may have an insurance policy to go after. So we can aggregate that amount and you'll be able to go after that. Now, if they don't have any insurance, or if those policies combined together are insufficient to compensate you for your pain and suffering, for your medical bills, for your lost wages, and all these things that are going to impact you for the foreseeable future, then we can bring a claim against Uber or Lyft's $1 million uninsured motorist coverage policy, which is really uninsured or underinsured motorist coverage. So we got the at-fault policies, the at-fault driver, the at-fault car owner, then we get $1 million on top of Uber. And if it was a really catastrophic injury and you had your own uninsured motorist coverage to go after, we'd go after that as well. So there are really 4 different insurance policies that we could go after if you are an Uber or Lyft passenger involved in an accident caused by another vehicle. The analysis is a little bit different if you are the passenger of an Uber or Lyft. That is what causes the accident. Then of course we can't go after the other vehicle, but let's say your Uber driver rear-ends somebody else and you are injured as a result of that, right? So the car in front can make their own separate claim against the Uber driver. You don't have to worry about that because you're just a passenger, you're not at fault. But if you're injured, you will be able to make a claim against Uber directly after you go through your personal injury protection. So personal injury protection will pay for up to the first $10,000, 80% of the first $10,000 of your medical bills, and afterwards you will be able to go after Uber for their $1 million policy. And then again, if you happen to have uninsured motorist coverage, and I'll put a link to another video that discusses uninsured motorist coverage, you'll be able to go after that as well. So it's a lot to sort through, and this is why if you're involved in a ride-share accident, it's important to get an experienced Uber or Lyft car accident attorney involved as soon as possible. And if you do have any questions, we're here to help you. Take care.